5 minutes till 6.
You know what's funny, Greg? On our way home from work today, a Cessna, almost never see Cessnas take off from our local airport. He took off and he was flying right down the highway, and I'm doing 80 because it's 80 on the interstate. So I'm right under him. And Kelly looks up and says, "Is that Greg?" And I'm like, "No, he'd be driving, taking out light poles with his wings." But most of that is true. There was a plane flying right over us. I tried to get video of it, but I couldn't. And Kelly did say, "Is that Greg flying by?" But yeah, good times. I'm just popping up everyone that's showed up in the chat so far. Derek, Kelly, Chaos is in there. Hollywood Polo. Some gaming road warrior guy. I'm not going to put his chats up. He's a troublemaker. Mr. Livewire's here. Mr. Livewire, if you watched my Star Wars Saturday video, you popped up playing FX3 on my screen while I was recording. So you get a special shout out there, and I get a shameless plug. AZ Cowboy 1. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Saying Greg looks like he's driving Kit from Knight Rider with that steering.
Flying a Cessna 172.
All right, so we're caught up with everyone that's in the chat so far. If I missed you, sorry. I'm trying to scroll through. But, yeah. So what we got going? Greg, you probably have a lot to talk about because since you ditched last weekend.
Yep. I got to do something with my volume. I'm not hearing anybody. Okay. Go ahead, Bart. What did you say again?
I said you probably have a lot to talk about since you missed last weekend.
Oh. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll just say this about last weekend. The kids arrived during the show. I was able to come watch. And Philly walked in just as I expected. Walked in with the grandkids. Hey, Grandpa, which is what you want. What you want the kids. You want the kids to come home and be excited to see you. But then the week started. I don't know if it was more of a problem preparing for them to come or getting back to normal after they left. So, what day they left? They left Friday. This is Sunday, and it's the last 2 days have just been recovery mode. I'm an old man to have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old running through the house for 4 days, but it was good. It was good.
Nice.
And the last thing I'll say is the game room was successful. There were certain things I had to make off limits to him, but the 5-year-old ended up getting a 50 million score on the. He was really crappy at first. All he was doing was hitting buttons. Once I told him to keep an eye on the ball, he actually got one down the throat of a Demogorgon and actually launched that mode. So, hey, 5-year-old, pretty good.
Nice.
Cool.
That's excellent. Yeah.
Well, in the meantime, I want to jump around here. I want to find out. Mr. Poestyle had a birthday. Let's talk a little bit about Poestyle. I saw he had on Facebook. He had a wonderful gaming birthday cake by his parents, and we played some games. Go ahead, Poe. Tell us about your birthday.
Oh yeah. Yesterday they had a little party for me and my mother up at my parents' house, the house I grew up in, the house that I got my Atari 2600 in. And actually, they were. My nephews were playing the Atari Flashback 8 Gold, I think it was, that I bought for my parents a few years back while we were up there. So they were playing some River Raid and Burger Time and stuff on there while I was up there. And my sister-in-law and my brother bought a cake that had like the Atari joystick and Pac-Man on it for me and stuff. So that was cool. The big 5-0 celebration. So had a great time there. And yeah, I was actually laid off for the week. The mill was down, so I went fast as hell like it always does, and I went right back to work today. That's how they welcomed us back. Sunday morning, get right back in here and get to work. So that's what I did this morning. Actually, I had dinner, and my wife made a low country boil here, so I'm sitting there eating shrimp and kibasi and corn and everything, and I passed out on the chair, and then I opened my eyes and saw Off-Grid was saying, where the hell's everybody at? It's time for the show. So I kind of rolled out of the living room and down the stairs and across the yard out here. So
Yeah, I was starting to think I was on the wrong day because Greg's usually the first one here. He wasn't here. Mike wasn't here. Poe wasn't. I sent a chat. Nobody responded. I'm like, oh my God, am I on the wrong day? What's happening? I start this show by myself. We'll drop viewers quick. We don't want to have that happen.
Well, I must say the show. It was kind of enjoyable to watch the show last week, and I think you guys did an outstanding job. So, makes me feel less valuable, but I'm glad you had a good time. It was a great show. So. Good times.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun last week. We had a lot of fun. We missed you, Greg, but we pushed through and had a good time. So
good show.
Every once in a while, we worked in talking about gaming too. We just got on some tangents, but it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, we forgot the cameras were on a few times there. We just started talking like we do in chat.
Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. So, Mike, how's your week gone?
Oh, pretty good. Yeah. Just been working on my video. I'm almost done, so hopefully I can put it out. I'm not going to say today, but probably tomorrow I should have it done. So,
excellent.
Yeah, it's coming along great. So I kind of did like some, what do you call that? Invited my friend to help me with the skits and stuff on it, so it's going good. I'm glad he's helping me, so makes it a lot easier.
If I had a nice plane like those two did, I would have flown out and helped you out too with that. But
yeah,
I love skits.
Where were you?
Yeah, Derek's getting impatient here. He's asking, "What is it? Say it! You just have to wait like the rest of us, Derek."
Yeah, it's retro, so going back to retro. Yep. Oh yeah, there we go.
Hey, there we go. That is an awesome cake. That is an awesome
cake.
The
funny thing is that's another bakery. There's a real popular bakery around here, but my sister-in-law normally goes to. But this is a family-owned bakery that she started going to recently, and they had some younger people working there, and I guess she said she went in there and said, can you guys put an Atari 2600 controller on there? And they're like, well, we're not really sure what that is, but we can Google it. And I'm like, well, doesn't that make you feel old,
Yeah.
So that's what they did. Yeah, they Googled it, and then they made the picture from that. So
Derek wants to know how much of that was left over. Take a look at Poe and answer that question yourself.
If I'd have known there was cake, I'd have jumped in that plane and flew up to Poe's house. I didn't know there was going to be cake for this swim day. Poe
we have
sent
decent,
us in our chat and said, "Hey, look what I'm eating and you guys aren't."
Yep. Oh, they tried to force all that stuff off on us, and pretty much at our house, it's just three of us here, unless my daughter's home. And it was kind of like, no, we're not going to eat all that, especially like sweets, unless it's like a holiday, we'll get stuff like that. But yeah, I think we brought home a couple pieces. One of them we're like saving for my daughter when she does come home. So yeah, something like that anymore. When I was a kid, I would have tore that up. But icing anymore, wow, you take a couple bites, you're ready for a big glass of water or something, suck that down. But I love the picture of it. And it was funny because my mom said, well, we're just going to take 2 pieces of it for your dad and I. So which pieces do you want? And I said, Mom, I don't care. It's cake. It all tastes the same. Well, we don't want to take a piece of the picture that you want. I'm like, Mom, take whatever you want. So she takes the part with the top of the TV that has the rabbit ears. She starts cutting it and takes those 2 pieces and starts putting them in a Tupperware. I'm like, not those 2. That's the TV. And she's like, oh, I'm like, I'm kidding, Mom. Take whatever pieces you want. Wow. You don't know me by now after 50 years, Mom. Come on.
You're right. Yeah. What flavor cake was it?
It was just a white cake, vanilla ice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. That's still good, yeah.
Yeah, we got a big storm coming in here. Wow. Things are whipping around here now.
Are they really?
Yeah.
We got fortunate. We got a few cool days. As a matter of fact, last night I stepped outside, got a little bit of a chill, and but then today I woke up and man, it came back. I mean, it's not super hot, but the humidity got back up there again. So that's why I say, welcome to the Midwest. If you don't like the weather, just wait 48 hours. It'll change.
Yeah, you're talking about getting chilly. I'm down to 93 in here, so it's ball. It's nice. I'm gonna have to get a jacket soon. Yeah, we are right back up into the hundreds. We had a week that was in below hundreds. We had double digits for a week, and now it's right back into the hundreds. Texas has been setting. Last year it set all kind of records for number of 100-degree days, and it looks like this year might be worse. But at least I'm on the dry end of the state. Those people over in Houston, and they're just, because it's humid there too, and it's still hot. So, but yeah. So now I guess they were talking about our dinner earlier, because now they're wanting tacos and cake. Because we had tacos for dinner tonight. But so do we want to talk any gaming? Does anyone have any gaming to talk about on this gaming show?
Well, I have a question.
Popeye again. Popeye.
I have a question.
Sure, Greg.
Well, I got a question for Mike and Poe, and I want to. Mike, first, did you ever get VR for your PlayStation?
No.
Okay, but Poe, is that what you're playing this stuff I've seen the latest videos on, the cabin, or what is that?
That's on the Quest. Bart and I were playing that.
Okay. I've been watching your videos, and I forgot which item you're using, but I should have known if you're playing that with Bart. Bart's got the Quest headset. So
that was freaking fun.
So compare the two, the Quest VR, PlayStation 5 VR. It's different animals, same animal, one better than the other. You don't want to say, it doesn't matter.
It's all for people. If anybody's watching that, prefers one over the other. You're going to see differences in the PlayStation exclusive, maybe, a little bit better looking. But I haven't bought anything, I don't think, really, except for maybe that Walking Dead one, It looks a lot like something you would play on the Quest, A lot of the stuff that I've played so far, it's probably PSVR exclusive. So, Horizon looks amazing. I hadn't played anything that looked like that yet. That newest one I played looks amazing too. But I had problems, a lot of technical difficulties that day with my PlayStation itself. So it wasn't just the VR, it was the PlayStation itself that day. I was all excited about going live the day that thing launched and everything. And then I had problems with the headset and the PlayStation itself. And then Bart even came on there and said that he was having problems hearing me. That's because my headset, I could hear it. It kept beeping. It was turning off, turning back on again. So I never did go back on to play that game again. I need to get on there and do that. But I think, the exclusives, you're going to see a lot of good stuff. Right now, with it only coming out this past spring, there's not a lot out for it that's only out for the PSVR 2, right? So they have their walkabout and stuff like that on there. I asked the same question to a few people, and I didn't get straight answers from a couple gamers. It's like, so is it worth it? It's like, I want more details. Definitely, dude, buy it. That's the kind of answers I'm getting. And it's just like, well, I already bought the thing, but I want to know what games are worth getting, that I couldn't just already buy on the Quest. So.
Well, I think Derek's comment here sums it up pretty well. I don't know if you can see it or not, Bo, but he said exactly what I was thinking. He was thinking it would probably look and play a little better on PSVR 2 because it's running with the power of the PS5 versus the Quest. It's basically a cell phone strapped to your head. Quest.
It runs off of Android software.
Yeah. The Quest was designed to be wire-free and standalone and all that, and it just doesn't have the horse. If you want your Quest to look as good as it possibly can, you got to hook it to a PC and have a beefy PC to run it. And you can make the Quest look amazing with PC VR, where the PlayStation VR has the horsepower of the PS5, which is a beast in and of itself. And so, yeah, I would guess most games are going to look. If it's a standalone on the Quest versus a PlayStation, the PlayStation's going to look better. But
one thing I can say for sure for me is I haven't gotten motion sickness with it like I have on the few games with the Quest where I tried to run around. I'm not really positive. I've heard somebody said that's the refresh rate is why. So maybe that's it. Because I would have thought I would have been about ready to puke playing some of those games on there, and I haven't yet. A few times I was a little like, whoa, wait a minute, but then I was all right, So, yeah, instead of just teleporting everywhere.
Didn't you get that Walking Dead game, Poe?
Yeah.
And that's running like 60 or is it 120 hertz that you're running on it?
I think that's 120 hertz on that.
Nice.
Horizon was the one that surprised me because you're in that boat in the beginning. And then when I climbed that mountain and I was going hand over hand on the rope and everything, and I looked down at the river down below, I thought for sure I was going to be done, and I was fine with that game.
Yeah. Now, how did you feel when we played the cabin the other day? Did you have any motion sickness in that?
I was okay, but towards the end, I wasn't really motion. I was ready to be done, I think. But by the time we ended that, though,
I started getting a headache. I didn't feel sick or queasy. I was just getting a headache, and I don't know if it's because I was hot and sweaty with something strapped to my head, or if it was the motion in the game. But let's see.
I think the reason I was asking about technical issues that's where I was headed with that on the PlayStation. Because, the Quest, as much as I love it, ever since we bought them, the games that are playable on it, the way it works, but it's like the four of us got together the other day for your birthday, Poe, and we played that cornhole, and we never did finish the whole game. Technical difficulties.
Yeah.
And that was just really fresh. Now, don't get me wrong, I had a blast doing it, and it is enjoyable to be able to talk in real time. You don't have to use a second app to communicate. I mean, your avatars are. I remember that time we were playing Poe, and your dog was barking, and your mouse was moving to the dog bark. But
yeah, I don't know, because like when Bart and I played the cabin, we really didn't have too many technical difficulties. So it all depends on the connection, maybe how many players you have going. It all depends on the day or the time.
And it could be something like that. It could be the software itself.
Right.
It seems like Bart and I've had that problem, but the reason I bring that up is I've had a problem. I found a game. I sent you guys a link to it I've been playing this virtual X-Plane 11 using my headset, which I love that with the Quest, but I can use that with my PC. Bart taught me how to do that, and that's cool. So I looked for another VR game, and I found this. You've played that game, Duck Hunt, the old Duck Hunt game. I think you've seen it. You play it, Poe?
Yeah.
Well, I found one called Duck Season. It's based on that game, but it's a horror.
Yeah, my son played that with the Quest and his gaming computer last fall. I bought him the cable for the Quest. I've never done it. I've never used his PC with my Quest, but he used it for that.
I couldn't get it to play. I bought it on Steam. I could not get it to play, and Bart will tell you I've been texting back and forth with all these technical things lately I've had trouble with, but I went to their help thing, and finally they sent me a thing from Steam when I said I just can't get it to work, and I'm following all your instructions. So they just gave me my money back, which was kind of depressing. I didn't want my money. I wanted to play it, but it would not play.
Huh. Wonder what
it would show up on the screen, and the VR thing, you'd see it starting to develop. Everything was hooked up right, and then all of a sudden it just freezes. And then I went right back to my flight sim, and it worked fine. So,
yeah, I'm definitely no VR professional. I'm just new to that PSVR. I throw it on and play a game. So I saw Brooklyn Menace was there. Whenever I want to watch something new on there, I watch him or I watch the drunk play. If they're on streaming, I watch them play something first. So they would definitely have the answers more than I would.
But now you've got you side quest loaded the original Duck Hunt game, didn't you? Or
Yeah, somebody had a Duck Hunt that was like Nintendo's Duck Hunt, but in VR. I played that. What was that? Like last fall on my channel.
Well, I tried.
You had to side load it.
I tried to side load it, and that's the other thing. I've side loaded a bunch of games on mine, and I had mine off for a while, and I got an update and everything, and I updated my software for the side loader. I could not get it to load, so that's what I was getting at. That Quest is kind of frustrating me sometimes. I mean, I had it working one time. It works sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. Have you had any problem? Have you tried side loading? Any of you guys tried side loading on that lately?
I haven't done anything for a while.
No. Yeah, it's been a while since I side loaded anything, but I've installed stuff from like the App Lab and stuff, but I haven't side loaded anything for quite a while.
Well, somebody asked. I mentioned a minute ago on there. I don't know if that chat came up, but somebody said they wished they had Pinball FX for VR, and they do have. But the Pinball Zen Studios, the only thing they've got for the Quest goes clear back to FX2. Am I right, Robert?
Yeah, and then the Star Wars, which is. You only get 10 tables. You don't get the full plethora of Star Wars tables, but you can get the Star Wars tables, and you can get the FX2. There's like 10 or 12 tables on that too. Which was actually the first purchases I did when I got my Quest. I bought every pinball table you could get for the Quest, and then I moved on from there.
And you can play Zachariah on Steam with the Quest VR too.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a video on that too, because Derek put in the Discord, he beat my score in one of the tables, so I gotta beat him in VR with one eye tied behind my back. That's what I'm going to try.
Well, do me a favor, when you shoot that video, shoot a tutorial of how you set that up, because that's another thing old G. Parker's failed at, is I've tried to play that, and I just can't seem to get it working. I looked it up. It looks like you don't have to buy special tables. Because I searched on Steam.
Yeah, it's the same tables. You just got to buy the VR pack for Zachariah. It's like $15. Could have got it for half price when they had that big half price sale, but I waited till the sale ended and then bought it for full price because that's the way I roll.
Yeah, I can't find that. I searched for Zachariah VR, and I couldn't.
Just go to the Zachariah Pinball, like you're gonna buy it on Steam. And then just go down to the add-ons, the DLCs, and just do the full list, and you'll see it there. It says the VR, the VR mod or whatever, the VR add-on, and then you install that, and then it just kind of works. But it's been a while. I only played it that one time, so it's going to take me a minute. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and Derek mentioned you can play GPX in VR too. I haven't messed with that at all. And then he's saying good luck to me, like I can't beat him. I've seen our scores.
Listen, don't listen to that guy about anything. He came on to my latest Popeye video and he's like, oh, there's no jump button.
Yeah.
Have you ever played Popeye Arcade before? You got to turn in your gamer card at the door right now. You're out of here, buddy.
Did you see my reply to his comment about not jumping?
I didn't get to see it. Yeah.
You should have saved that one for a private message. Don't.
Popeye doesn't jump.
He kind of falls off the edge. If you go off the top, he just falls.
I take it the topic is headed toward how well Derek can do at these games and how he's, who can beat who. I think it'd be a good time to segue into the results of last week's tournament and this week's tournament. If anybody's ready to start that, I can run that.
Oh, I forgot all about that tournament last week.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what we got.
All right, here we go. Okay, it's tournament time again, and we did Circus Valère, and it is finally over, and it looks like Mr. Livewire 1970 came in the top spot. Tony's Jogan Jogren. I'll get that right sooner or later. I took the third spot, 51,754,000. Poestyle came in there at fourth spot with 14 million. Classic Arcade, 11 million. Pixelatorium, old Derek, came in with 9,210,000. Mrs. Postyle played on the Switch, 7,422,000. And I gave it a try on the Switch too.
What?
And came up with 6,835,000. So Mr. Livewire's got it this week. Okay, let's see if we can get back over here to continue. And let's get another tournament started.
Finish create tournament.
Let's create a tournament. And let's try to go to something different. You know, I just don't remember playing any of these Fox tournaments. I think they are. Let's do Archer. And again, we're gonna do a 5-day tournament, a private tournament. Everything else is normal. Create and play. And the password again will be GPARKER. Okay, create and play. Here we go. Archer Pinball. Let's take a look. Normal rules. 5-day play. Password G Parker. Here we go. And if you want to see how I do, you'll have to play. Talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Back to the show.
Nice.
There you go. Where was Derek at on there again? It was...
Oh,
you beat Derek.
Well, most of the time I could too, and I normally don't because I feel bad for the guy, so I keep it low. But then, you know, once in a while, somebody starts running their mouth, you got to slap them a little bit. You give them a spanking. Put back in there. What happened the other day, Derek? What happened? Playing zombies, and I said I got to let Nacho in. What did you do? You let me get abused by zombies, didn't you? Came in and I was getting my ass kicked all over the place. Off-grid and Mrs. Off-Grid saw it.
yeah, we were watching that video, and boy, Derek, you don't want to know what Kelly was saying about you when you let Poe get eaten while he's let Nacho in. Oh my goodness! I was a sailor once in my life, and I was just floored by the torrent of words she used against you, Derek. It was bad. It was bad. Yeah. Look at, yeah, Derek's trying to defend himself. All caps don't help you, Derek. It doesn't matter. One is all it takes in a zombie game. One zombie can kill you.
Well, you know, through all these tournaments that we've set up, you know, Bart and I started that big tournament that we did, and then we've been doing these every week for, you know, well, this is week 11. But I never had remembered picking any of those American Dad, you know, those particular Fox ones. So I thought, what the heck, I'd give it a try. They're kind of obnoxious tables, but hey, we had to do something different. So there you go. There's this week's table.
Yeah, I have to apologize. I didn't get in on that last one. I checked. Kelly doesn't have that table on the Switch.
Oh.
And so I would have had to come out here and play, but last week I was doing all the changing around, and it just was getting hot so early in the day. I'm like, I just never got out here to play, but I will get in this Archer one, and I suck at it. So
if nobody cares, can we segue? I want to segue back to Bart again. And we're talking pinball. We talked about pinball VR. We talked about pinball FX. We talked about all kinds of different things. But, you know, I think it was last week when I was gone, Bart, you announced that the Switch, you came to the Switch. The FX finally did. I did pick the Switch to be where I'm going to get mine ported over to. You know, that port that they're supposed to do. I haven't heard. I don't believe they started that process yet.
I guess if you like PlayStation 1 graphics, way to throw your money away.
I like PlayStation 1 graphics.
But I wanted to see what Bart had to say about the Switch. That's why I haven't bought any tables. I've been playing the ones because I don't know which ones, the ones that came with it. And I did have fun setting up the tournaments. I do like the fact that I haven't checked on the regular FX, but I do like the fact you can show the password. Have you noticed whether that showed up on Pinball FX yet, Bart?
Oh, I haven't even checked. Yeah, no, I haven't checked yet. I'll have to look at that. But yeah, they did make that in the Switch version. You can see your password when you type it in now to make sure you didn't typo. So that's at least one thing. But no, I'm enjoying the heck out of it. I just got a handful of tables for now. We're gonna, obviously, I have everything you can have for FX on Steam. So everything we're buying at this point is a double dip. So I'm not going nuts buying stuff. And since you can't play from a Switch to a PlayStation or to Steam or any of those, you can't join the tournaments. It's a little depressing. But I'm really enjoying the heck out of it. I got on that World Cup soccer and got a 1.3 billion score. So I think it's playing great. I think it looks great. Some people don't think so. That's what Poe was alluding to. Some people are going nuts on Reddit and on, I think it was in the Facebook group too, wasn't it, Poe, where people are like, it's worse than PlayStation 1 graphics.
Oh, yeah, I went on Reddit and to read a little bit, and there was one guy that just kept going on. It was probably the same guy you saw. He kept going on. PlayStation 1, PlayStation. I'm like, are you fucking high? Sorry. I mean, does this guy remember the PlayStation 1 at all? There's got to be something wrong with this guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's got to have eyes like Jack Elam or something, if you even remember who that is. I mean, if he's seeing PlayStation 1 graphics, he's got to be looking at a TV over here while he's looking at this one over here, you know?
Yeah, I kind of think that the people that are going so nuts about it and being so animate about, oh, it's so PS1 and all this stuff, they're probably younger than a PS3. They've never seen a PS1. They've never played a PS1. Because I'm playing the thing, and I don't know. The one guy's like, did you look at my screenshots? I'm like, why would I? I don't give a shit about your screenshots. I'm watching what I'm playing. I'm holding the unit in my hand. It looks good. I put it on my TV. It's 1080p on the TV. It looks great. I did a video. Nobody watched my video and said, man, that looks like shit.
I tell my wife that all the time. I'm holding my unit in my hand. It looks fine right there. I mean,
yeah, and she's like, keep it there.
So do you hold your unit in your hand a lot, Paul?
Yeah, it's smaller than it actually is. I got big hands.
Yeah, but, yeah. It's crazy how people react to stuff, and yeah, I saw some people that they're like zooming in on text on the table and saying, "Look, it's blurry here." It's like, well, you don't do that when you're playing,
right?
And are they playing with their right like this? It's like, here, do this. It'll clear some of that stuff right up. Get it at a decent distance from your eyes. But and I'm not trying to say that I think it looks like shit and you have to hold it away. I think it looks great. I don't know. The Switch is a 720 screen, so it's not a 4K screen. You're not going to get a 4K screen look on it, but I think it looks and plays great. I don't have any issues with the thing. I'm having fun playing it.
I played mine on my
people are talking about Fishtails, and they're like, well, look at how bad Fishtails. I'm like, Fishtails is a piece of shit anyway. It doesn't matter what it looks like. The game itself is bad. I don't care. You can only polish a turd so much. You can put 8K graphics. It's not going to fix Fishtails.
What I'm wondering about is Twilight Zone. We both ran into the same thing. The very first time I played that table, all the collectibles were unlocked the first time I played it. Now, is that a glitch or what? You know, it
Yeah, I
happened to
don't
you
know.
too.
I didn't pay attention to what it was beforehand. Is it set up to where it's like 7 points get you the first one?
Yeah,
12
because
points
I don't remember doing that on the PS5. I think it took me just a
No.
little bit longer to. Yeah.
It took a while to get those achievements. That's why when I seen Bart play, like, what the hell? He got all the
Yeah.
everything unlocked in one game.
Yeah. And
One
I didn't
game,
have
yeah.
a great game.
Yeah.
I got a good score off of a couple shots. I didn't know what happened, so my score was better than my game was because I drained pretty quickly, but I got a high enough score. But I don't know what happened. It just yeah, there must. And now when I'm gonna try to remember, I don't think Kelly's played it yet, so I'm gonna try to pay attention when she goes to play it and see what it says the points are for that first one to see how low it is, because it seemed crazy how quickly.
Yeah.
And you did the same thing, Poe. You get all 5 collectibles. So I got a shelf that's all Twilight Zone. That's cool. But Kelly said she did play it, so and she got them all too.
Okay.
I'm guessing because she says me too.
And see, there's some advantage. Something I want to say about the Switch. First thing, I played mine when I first got it. Matter of fact, I forgot that day was the 6th, and I saw Bart had a video, and I said, "Did he get an early release or something?" I said, "Cheryl, what day is the 6th?" I said, "Well, son of a gun, you know." But I played it on the 75-inch TV. It was a 4K TV, which I know it's only 1080, but I'll tell you what, to me, it just, and especially when you blow it up that big 75-inch TV, you would think that the resolution was bad. It would look like crap. The bigger you get, the tougher it is to, and I'll tell you what, it looked absolutely great to me. I was using my wireless Pro controller. That worked fine. I'm trying to figure out how to use my Mario wheel to play pinball, though. I'd like to do that. But long story short, I think and the other thing I love about the Switch, aside from portability, is the fact it's the only one that I know of. I don't know about the PlayStation guys. It's the only one I know of that you can buy one copy of it, and you can. And if Kelly has an account, Cheryl has an account, Bart's got an account, I got an account. There's only 2 switches between the two of us. But even if we all 4 wanted to, we could set up, if we all live in the same place, you can have 4 or 5 different people. So Bart can play in a tournament, pass the switch over to Kelly, she can play in a tournament, and keep your own scores, which you don't get on the other formats.
Yeah. If Kelly jumps on the machine behind me and plays, it's going to show as my score. It's not going to show as hers, because unless you put 2 separate Steam accounts on your thing and probably buy the game twice.
Right.
So yeah, that's a huge advantage. And I don't know, is it that way for you guys on the PlayStation? Are you able to set up different accounts? So Poe, if you play and then your boy plays on your PS5, can he have his own score?
I think he could. I don't think he's ever tried on there. I don't know if he's ever even played FX, come to think of it, on my PS5. He used to be able to play my other games with his junior account on there, because I would have a game on there and he could play it on there, But he does have a separate account now because he got his own PS4 a while back. So he has an adult account now that he pays PlayStation Plus. So.
Yeah, I would be curious to see if he logged in as himself on your PlayStation and then played FX. Would he be able to, put his name in the high scoreboard? Or, because you can't on Steam, you couldn't on Epic.
Kelly can even take your Switch, set up log in as Kelly, play it and get high scores, but she can also set up her own tournament, pass it to you. You can log into your Switch as you and set up another tournament. You could set up. I've got one of those family accounts with Nintendo, and I can have up to 8 people.
Yeah.
So 8 people can play that one machine, and then they can play their own too. But same thing with, I'm a big Mario Karts guy. My daughter-in-law up in Wisconsin can play against Travis and against me and against the other boy. We can all 4. You can play up to 4 people on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and we're all in the same account. We can jump in there and play. It's pretty cool. It's a great value because it's instead of one person, you get 8 people, but it's not 8 times the money. It's barely double the money to get that 8-person account. To me, it's a great value.
Yeah, it's a good deal. It's a good deal. But yeah, but anyway, get back to the FX on Steam. I'm having a great time. We bought the Godzilla vs. Kong pack, and we bought the what else did I buy? The World Cup Soccer, and I bought Snoopy because Arcade Chaos said he's going to buy that, and Twilight Zone because Mike said he's going to buy that at some point. And it's just nice. It's refreshing because ever since FX came out, we haven't been able to see each other's scores. So it is nice for me to go on and play a table and say, hey, look, there's Poe, there's Greg. And soon there'll be Mike and Chaos and some of these other guys that I like being able to see the scores instead of us being spread all around. I planned on double dipping anyway because Kelly plays almost exclusively on the Switch because of the fact with Steam, she can't log in as herself. So, I plan on playing a lot on there and setting up tournaments. And matter of fact, I was going to set up a tournament on FX and talk about it tonight, but I didn't because I was trying to get this room cooled off after work and before the show. And we're down to 91. We're almost down into the 80s. By the time the show is over, it'll be 89 in here.
The day that it came out, I set up 2 tournaments. Cheryl set one up and I set one up. No, I set up 2 4-hour tournaments under my name, and when one was over, I started the other one or something like that. I can't remember what I did. And I never did go back to look at the scores on it. I just wanted to see if it worked. And I don't know if any of you guys played in them or not. But
Yeah. You did one that was yours and one Cheryl set up. It was under her name.
Yeah.
And she did the Sorcerer Lair, and you did the Wild West Rampage. Kelly and I played them both. I really like that Sorcerer's Lair table. And and Wild West is fun too. So you get those 2 free and the fishtails. So, and which was another thing. Eventually on Reddit, I threw in some all caps words. I'm like, you people are crying about free tables on a free game. Just don't buy anything. If you don't like it, just don't buy it. No one's twisting your arm saying, hey man, FX is out. You have to buy it and buy all the tables. Just, it's free. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Don't buy any of the DLC stuff. I think it looks great. I'm going to end up buying all the tables. I think it plays great. So I'm down. I'm digging it. I'm loving it. And I stopped going to my own Reddit thread because people were just being jerks and personal attacks and accusing me of lying and stuff, lying about my opinion. All I said was I'm having a great time with it. Oh, you're lying. You're misrepresenting. No, I'm not. I enjoyed it. The end. That's my opinion. You didn't. That's your opinion, but whatever. So
Reddit's full of a lot of Reddit's got some cool stuff. I like it. The Switch page has got a lot of good information. Nintendo's got its pages. Good pages with good information, but it's just like everything else in the world nowadays. A whole bunch of Karens running around, male and female.
Yeah. The one guy, I think I was telling the guys before we went on, the one guy was arguing with me on my thread where I just said I like the game. And at some point he accused me of getting all butthurt and going after people who disagree with him while he's on my thread about that I like the game. He posted like 20 messages about how wrong I am and how it's crap and blah, blah, blah. It's like, you're the one that's all butthurt enough to keep coming after me. All I'm saying is I don't see a problem. I like it. And so I called him out on his hypocrisy. And then I just stopped. I don't even look at my thread anymore because it just was pissing me off.
Well, changing subjects and being on the same line, it's the same thing. And it applies to FX. People are talking about why would you buy FX for the Switch when there's rumor that Nintendo is going to come up with a replacement for the Switch. So, I mean, the new hardware comes out that it's no good anymore. Well, my answer to that is this rumor has been going on for a long time about, is it backward compatible? And there's one guy on YouTube that is constantly, every day, posts a video, and he says, "Oh, I've got the answer." Well, he doesn't really have the answer. What he's got is he looked at some little news article written by Switch or some. I think one time he even looked at the stock market to see what Nintendo's said at their annual stock market report, and it gave him a clue, a keyword they used. Said that they're going to come out with a new device. I mean,
well, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to start it off and say this is all speculative. I have no information. I'm just guessing, but I'm going to ask Bo. Mike, you probably could answer it too, but now you got FX on the PS5, and it's also available on PS4. If you buy it, you bought it on PS5, can you play it on your PS4 with that same purchase, or do you have to buy it for each console?
I think it depends on the game. There's certain ones that are for
with
both.
FX, with FX, because it's out for both.
I would have to take a look at the store actually and see what it says on there, because it'll tell you when you go to the store, it'll say PS5/PS4 if it's for both of them on there.
Yeah, because I know it is available for both. And my point being, if that's what they did with the PS4 and PS5, if one purchase lets you play on either or, maybe that's what will happen with the Switch. They release a Switch 2, and they'll be like, yeah, if you purchased it, you can just install it on your Switch 2. It carries over. I don't know that, but it might. That could be something that they do in the future. Or it could be like they did with, you bought it on Epic, you got to move it to, maybe they'll say, hey, anything you bought, you get a one time. If you want to move it to the Switch 2, go ahead.
There's only one guy that I've totally agreed with and he's going to say, I'm going to say it the way he said it. And it's similar to what you said, Mark. I have no idea. I don't know, but just a gut feeling tells me, that's what this guy says, that the Switch will come out. Nintendo is typically replaced with completely different consoles. Each time it's been the GameCube, the N64, all that stuff's been different every time. But this has been the most successful console / portable, the Switch. It's been running longer and still maintaining super high sales without changing hardware. And this guy feels the way I do, that they will not change that format. It's been too successful. And I truly believe that if they do a successor to it, it's going to be backward compatible. The only thing that's going to happen is they're going to put a bit better chip in it, so it will compete with the PlayStation stuff as far as instead of 720 on its screen, that they're going to put an OLED on the regular one and bump it up to at least 1080. And the guy at the GameStop told me he thinks it'll be 4K.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. I'm not going to wait, and be like, well, what if? It's like, then that's how you end up 3 years later and you still don't have that game because you've been waiting for the next gen to pop.
Oh, that's the thing. That's the thing. If you want to play something now with your friends that have that system, we have friends that have that system, and now the next system's going to come out, so you're going to wait for everybody to pony up $600 for the newest Nintendo system. But wait, there's not enough in stock, so they got to play a lottery at Nintendo.com to get the system, to try to get this new console, like with the PS5, that's going to take them 2 years to get anyway. Now it's available to the public, but wait, now there's a new Nintendo Switch Pro that's going to come out 6 months after that. Maybe we should wait and get that system. You know what? FX is out for the Switch now. People want to get it. We have friends that are going to get it for their system, so we want to get it and play it with them. That's why we're getting it now. They want to get it now. We have family members that are getting it now. We want to play it with them now. So that's why we're buying it now. It's that simple.
Yeah.
You're 100% right, Poe. I vote for Poe.
Yeah.
Because he's got the biggest banner. I ordered one of those, by the way. I didn't realize that thing was 6'5" by 5 foot.
Oh, you ordered the Poestyle one, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it says, I'm going to have Poestyle hanging on it.
Yeah.
That
It's
comes
gonna
with a bottle of baby oil and a box of tissues too. So
I'm just thinking, how am I going to hang in here a 6 foot? I guess I could. I guess I'll have to figure out a way. But no, mine says G. Parker on it.
Yeah. I'm going to get one. I'm going to put all 4 logos because I'm not a dick like you two and self-absorbed.
you never know what's going to happen.
I'm a team player.
Saw what happened with the Beatles. You never know. You know.
Yeah.
I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing the best I can, Paul. I'm sorry.
Greg, you should have it as a shower curtain and have it facing inside the shower.
There you go. Just have Rambo on it.
Actually, you think Mike got that as the original idea, but I think Poe told him that's what he could do.
Yeah, Poe only showed us the two he got, the Mr. Poestyle and the old Poe. He didn't show us the G. Parker one he's using as a shower curtain.
You know, that site though is pretty nice. You can if you look, of course it's through Amazon, but if you look at their site where they show all their different products, they do have relatively inexpensive, looks like quality. I mean, let's face it, that's a pretty good looking thing you got back there behind you. I mean, it'd look better if it had my face on it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and it's a good price. It looked like I was looking at them. I didn't jump in on anything yet, but I'm thinking about it because
the only reason I got mine when I did is I got mine for free.
Oh,
I just had enough. At Amazon, we buy stuff from them all the time. I looked on there. I said, "Man, I might get one of these one day." And Cheryl says, "We've got like $20 in Amazon points in there." I said, "Oh, it's free."
yeah.
Well, it does. They do come with clips and different styles of hooks and everything you want to. And this one, I actually put up a line across here, just like a clothesline, so that I could easily take this one down or slide it across and put the other one up. And I have my green screen that I use for everything else. I can just drop down whenever I want to. So.
Yeah. I was thinking about getting like a mermaid one that I'd hang in front of me and then cut the face out. So when we do the show, I'd look like a mermaid. And,
No, it should be a pony, so you could be like My Little Pony.
Yeah. I don't want to step on Mike's toes. Mike, you're being awful quiet. What do you got to say? What are your thoughts on this? Have you even looked at the free tables yet on the Switch?
No, I haven't even downloaded anything. I know you guys. I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think? Like when you're playing Twilight Zone, is it a lot easier, or does it feel the same? Like as far as difficulty goes on the game, I know like Twilight Zone, you drain pretty quickly on that. Does it feel a little bit more forgiving, or does it feel like the same or harder?
Yeah, I need to get back to you on that one. What I need to do is play them back to back because it has been a while since I played it on the. Well, I can't even play on that. My cabinet is still down, but I can play it on the. I can play it on the PC over here like I do my Star Wars stuff, but I'll play it on there and compare it to how I drained pretty quickly. But I could have just had a bad game, I was just trying to get that video going and get in there. I didn't really spend time on it.
The one I wanted to check, but I didn't pull the trigger on was Addams Family. I wanted to buy that just to see,
Same.
But then I bought Snoopy because I figured Chaos was getting it. Twilight Zone because I loved the table, and I figured you would get that one.
Yes.
And I wanted to get World Cup because I knew Bart had it. Plus, I really liked World Cup on the PS5. Just because it made me feel good because I could score high on that one. So
yeah.
I'm just hoping that they send out. I'm hoping they send out those emails for the people, because most of the tables you mentioned I bought on Epic, and with the promise that I filled out the proper email and sent it back to them saying I wanted to switch over, and I would have moved it to Steam, but I already have it on a Windows-based system.
Yeah, I want to say, Greg, it took them about 2 weeks before I got my email to go to Steam. And the only reason I like the fact that I went to Steam, it sucks because you and I don't see each other now, and so that sucked. I do have more friends on Steam, but Steam has sales all the time. They put those tables on sale. Just now, I got them through Legacy and all that, and I got them super cheap anyway. But almost once a month at least, they're putting tables on sale on Steam. And Nintendo, that's why we still don't have all the tables on the Switch for FX3, because they don't ever put them on sale. And I'm always afraid that, man, I'm going to buy these things for $10 for a pack of tables, and then it'll be $5 next week. But that next week never comes. But
well, and I agree with you as far as seeing scores if we're both on Steam. But as long as I've got the ability to play a tournament, and when I go to a tournament, I can see the other players. So I just gave it a lot of thought, and I thought, man, I got a lot of money invested if I can keep them on Epic and transfer a bunch to the Switch, because I just love my Switch for the fact that
and they let me transfer everything I owned at the time. It wasn't just the ones that you bought in early access. The way they made it sound, it would just be the early access. They gave me every single table that I had purchased on FX, including the ones after early access ended. And they said on that Pinball Bites, I think, they said, because they only have 20 tables right now, or 21 tables, plus the 3 free ones. But they said as they release the other ones, you'll get those too. You guys will get codes for those. So it's not like you're only going to get these 21, and then when they come out with like the pack that has Pinball Noir, you'll be screwed. It's like, no, you'll get those too when they come out. And I'm waiting for that pack too, the Pinball Noir and Sky Pirates and the Grim Tales, because I really like those tables.
See, now, you said something about having the receipts. When I bought them on Epic, I always got those email receipts, and I saved them all to a special folder. So, if there should be any questions about the ones I bought.
Because they missed 3 tables. When they did mine, they missed 3 tables, and I just had to email them a copy of the receipt, and I think it was 2 days later I got those tables.
But it's funny, I only got email receipts for the ones that I paid money for. The ones that I got that you used coins for, the original ones, remember? Mm-hmm. I don't have the receipts for those, but that should be automatic. That was before
they missed one of mine that was that way, and I just put it in the email. I sent the other 2, and I said the other one I paid with points, and they sent me all 3 codes. So they made it right. They made it right. And I think they're being very lenient. I think probably people, and I don't condone it, but probably people could lie, going, oh, I bought this and that, and they're trying to make it right by people. So I give Zen credit there. So, but yeah, so I'm looking forward to playing more stuff on it. It is handy when it's 100 degrees out here and I'm just sitting there. Sometimes I just pick up the Switch and want to play a couple games of pinball, and I don't want to fire up the machine, or I don't want to fire up the computer, or it's just sitting right there. Pick it up, play a couple games before dinner time or something. So I like the Switch.
Kelly put in the chat that Greg crashed, and I just want to prove to her real quick that I am still in the air. I just got to pause. That's where I was. I was in the middle of a flight, and you can hit the P button here and it'll pause. And I thought, I better get to the show, but I got that pause for one.
Old Poe said he has a P button for a whole different reason.
Oh yeah, he's getting ready. He's getting ready to do some truck stimulating. I heard.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard he saw my video, and then he was like, he's going to get in. I mean, he already destroyed our flying vids with his flight stimulation, but now he's going to do some trunk stuff or something. I don't know what he's doing.
He told me he's downloading some software from eBay, and it's going to take 7 to 10 days to get it. So I don't think he understands what download means, but
Yeah.
Now, are you playing that? What are you playing that truck simulator on, Bart? Are you playing that on Steam?
I am playing that on Steam.
With the Quest, yeah.
Yeah, it was on sale. I got it because I was looking through the Steam sale and it was 75% off. I paid $5 for the game, and then I bought $20 worth of other states DLCs. And
cool.
yeah, you can see on my screen. I got my steering wheel mounted. I made this space for recording the show and all that. And I had this big old area where now I got all my flight gear over here. I got my driving stuff over here. And I'm back to my elbow in this. My laptop sits over here. It's just wide enough for my chair. But while I'm sitting here talking, I got my feet on my rudder pedals.
You guys made fun of me when I was doing that gas station simulator. Now you guys are into the simulators. Got to get that gas station simulator.
Yeah. Well, Kelly was laughing because right before I came on here, I was watching a guy on YouTube and he was doing a train simulator. And I'm a train guy. I love trains, and I'm like, that looks cool. And he said they have it in VR and it looks really cool. And I'm
Did you hear that?
Oh my god!
Round Q, the train across the river's going by. He just blew the horn right as soon as you said that.
Nice.
I've gotten into this stuff so much, though, that I got to show you what I had to do. You know, I've got this pretty nice office set down here. Bart's seen it when he was here. I don't know. I've had it for years, but I've started dismantling it, though. And it's a mess in here right now. I got to show you. Let's see if I can get this without dropping it. Oh, shit. I had to pull my drawer out of where I'm sitting facing here so that my Mario wheel and my flight simulator wheel could fit in the slot here. So that drawer usually goes right in here. So it's sitting over there, and Cheryl came down here and says, "What are you going to do with that drawer?" And I said, "Well, it's for holding stuff." She goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, I'm just going to leave it on that chair. If I need something out of the drawer, I'll just grab it." You can't do that.
Now, I could show you my high-tech solution for my wheel over here, but you'd be jealous because I took, those, they're very popular, wooden TV tray type of thing so you can eat while you're watching TV. It's a basic style. I think they sold them at Walmart. I had one outside that's been out for 2 years, so it's all weathered and ratty. And since I'm out here in this trailer, I'm just in a box trailer, I put the legs up against the wall at the bottom where it meets the floor, and then the tray table's up, and I fired some drywall screws through into the wall. I'm like, yeah, this is good. Put a steering wheel on it.
When I did my... go ahead, Greg.
Oh, go ahead, Phil.
When I did my ColecoVision driving games, that's what I used was a wooden tray table. Put the ColecoVision steering wheel on. So.
Yeah,
great minds think alike.
To the wall, so it's very sturdy because it is a force feedback steering wheel, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't going all over the place. But yeah, I just fired drywall screws through it, and the desk that my flight yoke is on is this wide. It's about 10 inches wide by a foot deep, just big enough for the yoke to clip on, and that's screwed right into the wall too.
Wow. Well, I want to move my Mario Kart into the TV in the game room and just kind of move it in and out. So Cheryl found me a nice end table. I thought, that's great. But I don't have pedals for the flight sim yet. But that Mario thing has pedals. Well, I realized that end table does not, you can't put your feet underneath it. A TV tray would work perfect.
Yep.
Because you've got to be able to get your feet under it because to have the pedals work. I'm going to have to go dumpster diving. I bet there's a pit one somewhere, a dumpster somewhere.
Yeah. The simulators are addictive, though, and you can burn hours getting in a simulator just doing all kinds of stuff. But I am going to get back to some classic gaming. I'm going to do some more pinball stuff. Did you hear anything? Did they shut down officially the arcade servers? Are we still able to play online? I haven't checked lately.
Yeah, I don't know about playing online. There was somebody that just bought one off a marketplace, and they were able to put on their games because they had They had 2 other systems, so they were able to put their whole library of games on this other one they added to their collection. You know, you can put your whole library of games on different ones if you have them. So they're still able to do that with the servers. So I hadn't heard anybody say that they're playing online.
Calvin Wong is saying it's gone, no servers. Because I saw something the other day, but it was last week, and someone said, yeah, the servers are still working, but I haven't seen anything since there as far as online play. Derek was asking about, what's he saying? Can you set up wheel yoke paddles as the pedals so you don't need pedals?
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right. You can't. Well, I don't know if I can move the camera down here. Let's see. Well, you can't. The wrong side. Well, maybe you can see. Here's your yoke, ailerons, elevator, throttles up here. But the rudders, this is your foot pedals. I can do them with my thumbs. So there's your rudder pedals. Now, if you really want to feel like you're in an airplane, I got a friend that's a real pilot that came over and looked. He says, well, that sucks. I want to use my feet. But and then instead of the toe brakes, these 2 red buttons here, they're the brakes. So that. Which brings me to something. If you ever anybody gets into this, I found out something real wild the other day. My computer boots up down here with Joy to Key because I do so much pinball. So I just got it booting up to Joy to Key. Well, when I first hooked this up, it wouldn't work. I thought, man, what the heck's wrong with it? Well, I had to turn Joy to Key off because this is recognized by Microsoft on the computer as a joystick. Well, it also puts the inputs in. So, like when I touch the brakes, it actually was the same keystroke that shuts down the game. Every time I hit the brakes, the game would go away. I'd like,
wow.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're playing something that doesn't require Joy to Key, remember to close it before you start playing.
Yeah. I don't know how this will work. I've never tried.
Oh, I see it.
It's so dark down there.
Well, it was nice knowing you, Bart.
Oops.
Well, Bart was about to show us something spectacular, and he unplugged something. So.
Oh, he showed me that before. It wasn't that spectacular.
Well, thank everybody for stopping by tonight. It's time to end this show. When Bart comes back, nobody will be here. No, I'm just kidding. Come on, Mike, lay some stuff on us. We've been running off the mouth, me, Bart, and Poe. What's going on with you, man? It's your turn. Tell us what's going on new. What do you got coming up? What's going on?
Well, yeah, like I said, I'm getting the video ready, but yeah, when you guys were talking about simulators and stuff, I was kind of cracking up because pretty much on Steam, there's different simulators for anything. I was like, well, there's probably like a UFO simulator, you know, Chaos, get on and drive your own UFO, man. Yeah, I'm thinking about looking into that. I'm going to be looking at Steam and seeing what I can get to play as well. So there are 2 games I saw. I'm going to be shooting a video on it, and it's actually pretty funny. I don't want to get too much away on it, but yeah, it involves you building stuff on it or doing something like for a project. But yeah, that's going to be my next video. I got to try it first, make sure the game doesn't have too many bugs, because what I was kind of reading off of it, there's like some glitches that kind of have you freeze in the game, so I want to make sure it doesn't happen when I'm recording. So I'm going to be working on that. But yeah, you guys got me into the simulations. Like, well, I'll try finding a game that I can put out for that someone hasn't played yet. So that's what I'm going to be doing.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
And not only that, but we keep showing you stuff all the time in text, and you're like, "I'm getting that next payday. I'm getting that next payday." You got to be losing track by now because we keep throwing stuff out there every day.
Yeah, I know. I want to get the Twilight Zone. I did want to get the what was that? The ship one, Dredge. So I was looking into that, but I couldn't get it because I bought. There was like a listing on eBay I bought what was those games? Heavy Rain and Indigo Prophecy.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. Yeah, those are a
Yeah.
throwback. Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved
Really
Heavy
good.
Rain when that first came out. Wow, did I get sucked into that game?
Yeah. Well,
See,
the
I
reason
can-
I got it, I can record it now because on the I had it for the PS3. The
Yeah.
only problem with recording on the PS3 sometimes I don't get the audio. Like if there's a character speaking, it just picks up the ambient noise or the music. So I got to kind of work on that. And plus, the PlayStation 3 has that security where they don't like having things recorded on it. So you
Oh,
gotta figure out a way how to bypass, which I do. I have a way to bypass it so I can record it. But now it's like, where's the voice? I can't hear any of the voices if I'm recording something. So I gotta find a way how they can fix that. But yeah, that's why I got it, so I can record.
It sure records the shower scene. What was that?
The
Old
shower.
Pro wants you to record the shower scene in that one.
With the dude?
No. Hey, with the dude? No, with the dude, the woman. The woman.
Oh, okay.
I know what you mean about wanting to get something because you can also get some quality video on it. It's like Bart and I were talking before we started the show that, we got some great new graphics for this flight simulator, and it's great for me, but I noticed before it was glitchy in my headset, but my recordings were pristine. Well, now if you watch my last video where I flew over this lake that's near me, because I got some friends that live there, they thought that was cool as hell, seeing the lake they live on. But man, for me it was great. But every time I moved my head, and the view that you're getting was really jumping around and stuff. I had to move.
Yeah, we'll fix that. We'll fix that, Greg. We'll fix that.
Yeah,
I'm on top of it. We got this. I just learned it the other day, and it's once you get this, it's getting it set up once, and then once you do that, it's just a couple mouse clicks, and all that stuff is fixed. But yeah, Mike, I was going to say earlier when you were talking about wait until next payday for this and that, you got to do like me and Poe when it comes to buying these games and stuff. We just buy them, and the other bills will figure themselves out. They have a way of doing that. I'm sure. I mean, when my kids, I get it. Your boy is still living at home, and when my kids live, they just ate yesterday. They'll be fine till tomorrow. They don't have to eat every day. That's just one of those things, If it comes down to buying a new game or feeding your kid, sometimes a kid can go hungry. It's good. It's a good learning experience.
Well, is your kid paying rent? I mean, it should be. If it's not,
I blame everything on old Poe, and my wife really thinks he's a real dude, so I have the video footage and everything. I'll say, see, I caught him on the Ring camera right here going out to the FedEx guy. Who is that old bastard? That's old Poe right there.
That's old Poe. He stole his credit card.
He gets on eBay at 3 a.m.
Yeah. I was like, I was at work. How could that happen? He's at work. Order.
My kids came with the grandkids, and I looked up local prices for bed and breakfast, and I gave them a 25% deal for what they were. But they come to town to stay with me. They think this stuff's free. What? Yeah.
Calvin, fasting is good for you. That's good.
Yeah, Calvin Wong. Haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah.
And a long time?
Yeah. Mike's the one he's the responsible one in this group. The rest of us, we see stuff and we buy it, and then we worry about it later. It's like, that's okay. That's okay.
So what happened to you a minute ago? You were showing us something cool, and then you just disappeared.
Yeah, I guess the cable came loose of the camera. I had to replay. No, I was just going to show, because you were talking about the yoke and I have the rudder pedals with the toe brakes. And so if you wanted to use this for a driving sim, obviously you can steer with the yoke. And then I use the toe brakes, one for gas and one for brakes. And it works great. But then, of course, my steering wheel over here has its own pedals. It's a steering wheel and pedal set. But, yeah. you can do it the one because Derek had asked in Discord about that, and it's like you can use the flight gear to drive, but you can't use driving gear to fly because the steering wheel doesn't like being pushed in and out. It's for nose up and nose down. So, but yeah, if you have a set of pedals, it's a whole different thing, Greg. It's not quite as drastic as going from flying with the joystick, a controller to your yoke, but having the foot pedals, especially on the ground when you're steering with your feet, which I was having trouble when I did the first drive on the truck sim. I was using my yoke and pedals, and I kept using the rudders to try to steer while I was driving a semi. And it's like, what are you doing, dude? That's not doing anything for me. And I'm like, why is it not turning while I'm holding the wheel straight and I got my feet pushed? What is wrong with this thing?
Well, first time I went up in a real plane, a private plane, and the guy let me. There's been a few times. I've never attempted any takeoffs or landing, but I've taken a stick for a while, and I know I really screwed up. Because think about this. When you were a kid and you built that car out of wood, right? You just built that stick that you sat on. When you turn left, you push the right one out, the left one came in, and you turn left, right? You push this way. So that's what I did flying. Well, it's not that way. Left turns you left, right turns you right. But you see what I'm talking about. Remember the old soapbox derby cars? This was left, that was right. Still to this day, when I'm flying the simulator, I'll do that, and I'll go, oh, I'm going the wrong way. Yeah. I don't use a whole lot of rudder once I'm in the air, because unless there's a crosswind and I'm trying to land, most of the time I don't even use my rudders. But well, see, I've had trouble when I'm coming in at an angle. I'm trying to get down quick, and I've gotten off. I find that I can get the nose this way and keep the wings level.
Right. Yeah. If you're doing a crosswind landing, then yeah, you gotta use that rudder. But usually once I take off and get about 500 feet off the ground, I take my feet off the rudder pedals all the way until I'm coming into land.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. There's not much. Well, I'll tell you what, I've even gotten worse. This is cheating for Lutz. Since I figured out I've been playing with the autopilot, I've not only figured out the autopilot to get me in the vicinity of the airport, but then what was that? Well, I can look at it right here. It's called REV. So it's basically it'll line you up with the runway and it'll start a descent. And
yeah, it's the button next to that. It's the button next to that. It's the APR button for approach. And if you do an ILS landing, wait till you get to ILS stuff, Greg. You can just set all that stuff, and the plane just follows right down to the ground almost.
So that's what I was doing on this flight here. And it gets you about maybe 100 feet, 200 feet off the deck.
Yeah, and you can lower your flaps, and it'll automatically adjust, so you don't have to deal with the ballooning. It's pretty cool, but you're kind of cheating, but. Hey, if it's there, I was watching another guy who's a pilot, and he's doing courses, and he's a real pilot. It wasn't even flight sim stuff, because I'm trying to learn too. I'm still learning how to do your mixture control and all that. And I'm watching this guy, he's going through flight lessons, and he said the same thing to his instructor. He said, yeah, people are giving me crap saying I'm cheating by using the autopilot. And the instructor said, if it's there, use it. That's why it's there. It's not cheating. And they were doing a flight, and they both had their hands off the yokes. Neither one of them even were touching the yokes. And the instructor's like, you realize how long it's been since we touched it? And that makes me feel weird. Even in the simulator, I always keep one hand on the yoke, even in autopilot mode, because I feel like if something goes to shit, I don't want to panic, But he said, the instructor said, if you have the autopilot, use it. Now, it is fun. Sometimes I like flying by hand because it's fun. But if I'm doing a 2-hour flight in the simulator, I'm using that autopilot because I want to see the scenery. I want to look around.
I flew by hand just so I could get down and get a low shot of that lake and stuff. But for a 67-year-old man, I'll tell you what, I'm on a 30, 40-minute flight. I said autopilot. I go take a leak, I take a dump, I go do this, I go do that, I come back, I'm still on course.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Derek's got it. If it's there, use it. That's right. But anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about in this show. I don't know. We're at that hour 20-minute mark.
Yeah, I'm going to pass it around. Let's just pass it around. And, I think I want to pass it to Mike first, though, because we just I want to make sure he gets plenty of chance. We kind of run off with our flight sim and stuff. Mike, anything you want to make sure you say before we're over? We'll pass it around and we'll end this thing.
Sure. Yeah, I want to talk about the FX that you guys have been playing, so I'm probably going to download it tonight. Does it come, like you were saying, some of the Star Wars tables weren't on there, right? And then the Marvel?
There's no Marvel tables at all available, and there's only 2 Star Wars tables available. It's the collectibles and the Mandalorian, which is one of my favorite tables, is the Mandalorian. But it's just that little pack that has those 2, and they have no Marvel at all yet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And not a lot of Williams either.
No.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess they gotta work on it to make it work for the Switch. So I'm excited for it. So I can finally see you guys on there, especially the you guys watching the video. So yeah, because it sucks when you're playing on the PS5 and you're like, where's my friends at? They're playing on the Switch, so it'll be good to kind of be on the Switch with FX especially. So I'm looking forward to that. And then doing like I said, some simulators, and like I said, that video is almost done. I just got to work on it some more. I worked on it pretty late. I stayed up like till 2:00 in the morning working on it. But I was also watching your guys' videos, trying to catch up and stuff. So, but yeah. I'll be. Hopefully, I should get it out by Monday. So, I'm gonna, after we get done talking stuff, I'm gonna be working on that. But that's all I have.
Excellent. Looking forward to it. Like always, Mike always has good videos. If you people have not seen the Gaming Road Warrior channel, what the heck's wrong with you? Get out there and watch it.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. Quality stuff.
If you suffer through my stuff, you should treat yourself to one of Mike's videos. Make you feel better. All right.
Well, I'll pass it over to Mr. Poestyle. What do you got for us? Look at those headphones, man. Those are some fancy headphones and a nice hat.
Oh yeah.
Love the hat.
Just more Popeye, and I double did because I kept putting off that Commodore one that I just put out. I told you guys I shot that gameplay video for the Commodore one there a couple weeks ago, and accidentally deleted it to make room on my phone, and I was like, oh no, I didn't even make that video yet, and I deleted it. So then I got pissed at myself, and I knew I needed to make it, and I was so mad because I didn't feel like doing it again. And I finally did. And I got that video out last night. I think I started it, uploading it. I think that was last night. I went to bed while I was uploading it, and I shot that gameplay video the same time that I did Popeye for the 5200. So, of course, when I did the wrap-up and everything for this, I start getting them confused in my head which one I'm talking about, So you'll see that when I edit it, I'll throw the corrections up there in text that I screwed up when I was talking about. But I have Popeye for the 5200, everything shot on it too, the intro, the gameplay, and the wrap-up. I just need to edit it, so who knows when I'll do that. I'm back to work now, starting today. Today was only an 8-hour shift. It'll be 10 hours the rest of the week, so I'll try to throw that one together too. But we're getting close with the Popeye ones. I have a few more to do. I think Nintendo one, 7800, and there's a cool Popeye game that only came out in Japan based on that arcade one, but it was part of their learning series like Donkey Kong Jr., where it taught English to the Japanese-speaking kids over there. And I made a video of it a while back on my channel, but I'm going to do it again for this series. So we'll put that one up too. And aside from that, I might play something on the PS5 when I get home from work one day and just throw it up there like I did that little zombie one. I know Bart watched it the other day. It was actually a game that came out for the PS4 like 6 years ago. I found it and just decided to play it the other day. So that's kind of, it was kind of neat.
You did that magic thing, and the whole freaking screen was carnage. It was
Yeah, there was like stomachs and guts and kidneys and stuff just laying everywhere on the ground.
Go ahead, Bo.
Yeah, it was just one of those things. I'm like, I had an hour before I needed to leave the house, and I'm like, there's got to be something I can play on the PS5. I look in my library. I'm like, I've had that game sitting there for a while. Okay, just start recording, play it. So,
yeah, I do want to. I just want to throw in here real quick because, we tease. Mike does great videos, and we always tease that he's the quality and we're the quantity. But I do want to say, this is a brilliant idea. You're doing this Popeye series, and anyone that hasn't watched Mr. Poestyle's series on Popeye, it's amazing because he's showing every different iteration with different consoles, and you can see the differences. And it's just, I've never seen anyone else, and that doesn't mean no one else has done it, but I've never seen anyone else that goes this thorough of saying, this is this console, look at this game in this way, look how it's brilliant. Go watch Poe's videos on the Popeye series. I love Popeye. It's a great game also, in my opinion. So I think it's fascinating anyway. But even if you're not a Popeye fan, if you're a fan of different consoles, you can get a grasp of stuff. If you're a Donkey Kong fan, maybe it still kind of translates. You can see what the difference is between what an Atari 2600 versus a 5200 versus an Intellivision versus ColecoVision. You can see all that stuff. Brilliant. Great idea, Poe. Outstanding series.
Thank you.
I'm loving it.
Okay.
Yeah, Poe. Also,
Poe
has like a lot.
Nice to Poe. I gotta get this off me. I'm feeling a little icky.
Well, yeah, Poe also has he'll actually buy the games itself instead of just playing it through emulators. So you get the physical games that you play for people. And then another thing that's cool too that you do is the how to hook up, for your consoles and stuff. I'm still waiting for the mini Atari, how to hook that up to the HD TV instead of playing it on there.
Oh, it's funny that you mentioned it because I haven't pulled this out for quite a while, and so this has been in the house for a while. And actually, Ballistic wanted to do a second interview with me. We did an interview a while back, and since we were both up for that YouTuber of the month, we did finally do a second interview the other day. So I brought this out just for that to kind of show. So that's why this was sitting here. And so we did do that. He said that's going to be up in about 3 or 4 weeks down the road. And it happened again. He did the first part of the interview with me, and he's like, do you want to go on for another 40 minutes? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Well, just as he said that, my son came home with surprise food for me. And I'm like, oh, sorry, Ballistic, I can't go on for another 40 minutes. Yeah, we had so much more to talk about, but I couldn't do it. So there'll be a 40-minute interview with him a month from now, I think. So check that out. Or we kind of talk about that whole YouTuber of the month thing and how that went.
Excellent. Possum Grits also seconded the whole Great Popeye series so far, Poe. Been loving it.
Well, thank you, Possum Grits. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, I got a question, Poe. Which one of the olive oils looks the best?
Oh, they're all sexy, right? Did you see the one on the Commodore, though? I made the comment about her being a hobbit. Her feet are this big, and she's this tall.
Yeah, it reminded me one time, Kelly, Kelly's only 5 feet tall, and she's got tiny little feet, and I got size 12 shoes, and she was lining her feet up. She discovered she could put her feet, shoes and all, inside of my shoes. And she was clumping around the movie theater with these big old skis on her feet and her little body. And it's she was just olive oil for the Commodore 64. It was, yeah. Oh, man. So, yeah, Calvin, olive oil showing some leg. That's right.
Well, Bart, did you have anything for final thoughts?
No, not really. I mean, I didn't. I kind of said some of the stuff that I'm doing. I'm neck deep into these simulators. I'm having a great time with it. It's so hot. I can only really get out here early in the morning. And the last 2 days I've been working, so I can't get. We go to work at 4:30. We're leaving the house, so I can't get out here to play. So I'm going to do some playing stuff. I've just been enjoying watching Poe's videos. Since I've been nice to the other two, I got to say, Greg's been putting out some cool stuff too. His simulator videos. He's got that steering wheel for the. I didn't even know that was a thing. And
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's really cool. So I just been enjoying doing that stuff, but I am going to get back into some retro gaming. I'm as much as I love playing pinball on the cabinet, now playing on my PC on a 4K TV, it's looking pretty cool playing FX on that TV, even though it's widescreen and all that. But Poe's videos look awesome on his PS5. So I'm like, this is kind of neat playing. You can see the extra stuff on the side and all that. So I'm having fun doing that. So I'm going to do some more pinball, and I think I'm going to do an iArcade video this week maybe, and just get back into some stuff. I might even hook that. I thought about hooking my Legends Gamer Pro USB it into my PC so I can use the flipper buttons on that to play Zen.
Oh, nice.
FX, but I haven't got that far because I already got like 6 different controllers hooked up now between steering wheels and I don't want to suddenly, hey, I can play FX, but now my flight sim won't fly. So.
Well, if you guys would like, at some point we could challenge each other to. We keep talking about. Let's do some Logger again, or Leprechaun, or even the Toilet Kids. We got to do something like that again at some point.
Yeah. I gotta find out. I can't remember if I had Logger on my At Games or if that was on my main machine. But the main machine is down for the count. So if it was on that, I might have to figure out a way. Absolutely,
it's online. It's online, Bart. That's how I played it. I found it online to play because I don't have it on my arcade machine. So I'm like, oh, dude, I don't have this game. So I had to go hunt it online, and it's free to play.
We had fun doing those where we all shot our own little videos and hey, let's do that and compete against each other. So I'm down for all of that. Yeah.
We should have a Logger tournament.
Tournament.
Subjugate everybody to the Logger tournament.
Anyone that gets to the second screen is going to beat me because I've never even got off the first screen.
Man, that was a hard game to play.
you think you're doing great, and then all of a sudden he just runs off the side. You're like, I was stopped underneath the ladder. I pushed up, and he ran to the right. Brilliant game. Yeah. All right, that's all I got, Greg. What do you got?
Well, I was going to say, kind of along the lines of what you were saying, Bart. I've gotten so many things for gaming lately, and I've gotten so diversified in what I'm doing. I've always loved this. I flew RC planes. I flew with real pilots, and I've always wanted to do this, and you kind of inspired me to get into this. Of course, then I was at the local Sam's Club, and they had these Mario Kart wheels. I just find using these peripherals, I think Mike said it best on my video. He said, you feel more immersed in the game when you're doing that. So I too have gotten away from, I haven't fired up my At Games Gamer Pro. My Legends Gambit, I kind of hid it from the grandkids. Those things aren't that sturdy, and they like to climb on stuff. So I need to get that out. I need to get I agree with you. We've not done some of that. Here you go. Here's the Raspberry Pi. That's got all my games on it that I could just plug in right here and start playing some of the old retro games. So same thing with the At Game. So yeah, I there's so many things to do and not enough time to do them all. But anyway, so yeah, I'm what was it? I was doing those series on the Walking Dead on the Nintendo Switch, and I looked and I found the old videos, and I found one that I hadn't even published yet. It was episode 3, I think. And then I really got into playing that Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I got a hold of a physical copy of that because I'm one of those guys that walk around Target or Walmart and they got a little section that says, $14.99. Look through them and you go like, ooh, I want this. Anyway. Oh, I do want to say this. When I thought of you, Poe. I went to Sam's Club and I bought that. In Sam's Club, it's weird. They don't have on the shelf those electronics. You take a piece of paper, you take it up front, and they pull it out of a locked cage for you. Well, this thing was $69. I've seen it for over $100 everywhere else. But the gal, I handed the paper and she looks at it, steering wheel. She hands me a PlayStation steering wheel. And I thought, no. I said, this isn't the right one. As I was she finally swapped them out, and I was walking out the door. I thought, wonder how much that PlayStation wheel was worth.
Yeah.
Compared to this Mario Kart one. I don't have a PlayStation, and that would have been dishonest. So I'm not saying I would have done that. Probably wouldn't have done that. But anyway. But she had it to me. I mean, Cheryl didn't know the difference. Cheryl was there up there first. And she grabbed it. She says, "Oh, I got your wheel." And I said, "No, that ain't it." A blue and white box versus a red and white box.
Right.
Right.
So I was a little disappointed. Derek let me know about that GameStop sale for that at Games. And it was $50 out the door, but that was a clearance price. And when I checked within a 50-mile radius, nothing around my area, in Pennsylvania. And I even looked, it said even within 350 miles, nothing at all. So I'm like, wow, that's an amazing price. Somebody did have a used one for sale in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, which is like an hour and 15 minutes from here. For $50, a used one. I couldn't tell if it was beat up or you don't know what condition it's in. They say it's good, but who knows,
All right.
But yeah, when I saw that, I'm like, well, my GameStops around here, they never have anything like that. Whenever you look,
the stores are terrible around here. But I did see it I found it for $89 or $99 around here.
I was going to say, down here in Texas, Poe, 350 miles, that's 2 towns over. Everything so far. And I want to say really quick, hey to VKQ Interest in Adventures.
Oh, yes. Hello.
Keith, haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, buddy. He has a cool channel, too. Check his out. Oh, and look who's popped in. Oh. Sean, the Great Gamer, is in.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Good to see you, buddy. It's always good to have Sean in here. And, unfortunately, we're about to shut down, but it's nice for you guys to stop by. And you can watch the replay. This week only, our replays are completely free. You can watch the replay of any of the big shows for free.
And you can purge my merch.
Yep.
I just coined that phrase.
There you go. There you go.
Shower curtains will be available soon.
Last thing as I'm signing out, 2 things I want to ask. One is I want to see the shirt, Poe. That's your hot stuff pizza.
Well, that's the scratch and sniff. Remember those stickers?
Right.
Nice.
Yep.
In the 80s, yep.
What was that? What's that pizza game that's on VPX? I really love that one little pizza.
What is it? It's like pizza.
Oh, with the hot dog?
Yeah.
Pizza time.
Pizza time. I thought so. That game with the hamburger and the hot dog.
Oh, that's Burger Time.
No, I think it was like a breakout, wasn't it?
When I played, that was Independence.
Oh yeah, the Independence Day thing, the 4th of July.
Sean, 7,000 subscribers. That's great.
Man.
Oh, nice, Sean.
Good job, Sean.
But Poe, I gotta get a close up of the hat. It's a Metroid hat.
Oh, the Metroid hat.
Now, I heard that on the inside, why would they put there's something cool on the inside, right? Like an Easter egg?
It looks like the original box art from Nintendo.
Oh, put it back on.
You can see it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah, it's the silver box art from the Metroid. And it's all embroidered. Awesome. And then it's got Samus on the side. Yep. That was actually from their store, the same place you go to order their video games. Their digital downloads. You go on there and they have merchandise on there, and they had it on sale that week.
Nintendo store, yeah, they've got all kinds of. I bought something one time that was really stupid.
The only other thing I've ever bought physically from them were like they had the NES controllers for the Switch and the SNES controller, and I tried to get the N64 controller. I don't know how many times from them, and it's always out of stock on there. So
I think I've got the N64 one.
yeah, every time I try to get it, it's gone. And I looked again the last time, and that's when I saw this was on sale, and I was like, I like that hat, so I went ahead and got the hat. So
Nice.
I love that first Metroid game.
Oh, Sean says he's got a royal blue one. Nintendo.
Oh, nice.
Oh, is that the hat he's wearing in his picture there next to him? I can't tell.
Not sure.
It's a blue hat.
It's a blue hat. I can see that. Yeah, the good part about showing up at our show at the end is we say we're going to go, and then 30 minutes later, we're still yapping about the third different extra topic.
Well, another little Atari, if you want to look at it, too. It's a little bit bigger than the other little Atari. It's another flashback system. It actually plays. You can put the real controllers in it.
Little Stretch Armstrong can play that.
Oh, he's here, too. He's got nipples and everything. He never leaves. His head's a little... He needs a chiropractor.
That's it for me, guys. I don't know about the rest of you, but I got to stand up. My legs fell asleep.
Yeah.
Let me get back away from the chat here, and everybody wave. I'm going to roll the credits. Where the hell did they go?
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Bye.
Have a good
See you
one.
next week.
Outro.
See you next
See you next week.